Hey guys, welcome to the ACE match between UC Berkeley and the University of Toronto. Almost tripped over that. We have JF fielding up against Zeko. One of last match, Zeko starting the upper right hand corner as the blue protoss, bottom right hand corner. We have JF as the red protoss, and this is on God's Garden, which tends to be a very, very resource heavy map. So it'll look probably somewhat like Loki, unless we see some cheese right off the bat. And in that, I've got to favor JF just because he's an absolute monster. Again, whenever you have big macro maps like this, High Templar are really the difference, I would say. High Templar and then late game Arbiters. And I expect it to get somewhere to that stage, the mid game, where you'll see a lot of the High Templar and things out there, just because, again, you've got a secondary behind your base, which is protected, easy to take. Your natural secondary out the front of your door, also easy to take. So you have a lot of gas very early and a lot of resources to work with right off the bat.
Well, I mean, you got to hand it to Zeko for, bringing his team all the way to ace, but really the main powerhouse for University of Toronto is JF, and JF really, the top foreigner out there for Canada, and actually, really close to the top for number one protosses out there for the foreigners. And Zeko, I mean, I don't want to be a naysayer, but he really doesn't have that big of a chance of beating JF straight up. JF, we all seen him with his Reaver control, especially in PvP, really good with the drops. Really, I think Zeko's only chance here is to try to play a little bit risky. I mean, JF does phenomenal against cheese type builds, but I think that's the only way Zeko's going to be able to score a win, is to play a little bit risky here.
Go for some sort of, even though it's, wow, that's the thing, is I would think 3-gate Dragoon maybe, but this is a map where I feel like 3-gate Dragoon doesn't operate all that well. Looks like JF going to take gas rather than that second pylon, so going to go pushing tech a little bit faster than economy. He's already got that probe scout just kind of running around chilling inside of Zeko's base. Zeko, I'm trying to hunt him down with the counter probe, at least force JF to micro a little bit here. I think JF would be able to handle it either direction, but yeah, right now that's the only variance in their build. And yeah, between the two, I've got to agree. Zeko, I'm not sure how good a player he is, but unless he's smurfing and he's one of the really big name foreigners out there, JF is one of the best protoss, if not the best protoss in the foreigner community right now.
It looks like Zeko is going to go for the same exact strategy we saw last game. He's going to, it looks like to me, he's going to try to take a quick natural expansion and go for cannons, but I don't know how well that's going to work. He doesn't have the two bridges for a choke that he easily had in the last game on Destination. He's got that really wide choke. That means Dragoons are a lot more effective in getting in and pushing in into your expansion. I mean, there is that back expansion, so Zeko could just try to take the high ground, but then that just allows JF to double expand to compensate. So it looks like Zeko is going to take his natural, and JF, to me, he's probably going to go for Reaver and just go for the harassment route, seeing that Zeko's going to be getting late Dragoons.
Yeah, I think this is actually, it's kind of, yeah, one of the dual situation here, where if he can defend his front door, that'll automatically give him that expansion on his back ramp. However, going up against JF, who's got an excellent Reaver harass, he's going to have open field to harass everywhere. So even if he just plants those cannons on the front, which I think might be the case, he could run into a lot of trouble if he doesn't have at least some Dragoons or something on the ground to defend inside that natural expansion along that back edge. And otherwise, JF can keep transitioning between the main, the secondary, and right at that protected natural expansion, just basically attack at all ends. So I don't think he's going to get really any big advantage out of the cannons off the front door, especially after that mid game. And we'll see if JF does transition directly into Reavers. I think that is where he's really strong. Looks like he's just putting up a second gateway and continuing with his range upgrade for now, though.
Yeah, he's going to go for a 2-gate mass goon, and he's going to have Reavers. No, going for a third gateway, so it looks like he's just going to go for 3, maybe 4-gate goon all in, and just try to bust the natural that way. And that's really something that that works really well on this map. Like I said, once again, it's a huge open area in front. It's going to be a lot harder for Zeko to hold this, whereas on Destination, like I said, he had those smaller entrance points. You can do that you can hold that a lot easier. So here comes JF with his first Zealots and Dragoons. He's just going to try to harass Zeko's Zealots a little bit, kind of just try to pick off a couple Zealots to keep that army count low, while massing up with those Dragoons.
One nice thing for, it looks like Zeko did manage to sneak out a probe scout, so he will be able to breach, it looks like, and just run up and see what JF's up to. He'll be able to see the 3 gateways. What it looks like, yeah, we're probably going to see 3-gate Dragoon to press against this. So at least on that regard, he'll know he needs a lot more cannons on this front. And he's going to want to create as much of a contusion here on the front door, try to spread it out as much as possible so he can hit as many Dragoons at once all together. Yeah, it looks like that probe scout just now dying to that last Dragoon, but got to see everything he wanted to. Now placing the additional cannons, he's probably going to want 2 more right on the edge. And JF actually approaching now to try to hit these cannons, and going to be able to take 1 down, but having to back off otherwise and getting a couple hits off against the Zealots. I'm not sure if that was... Well, I guess he picked off that 1 cannon, that was helpful, and he is going to be able to continue to do this. But that's kind of clever, actually. While the cannon count is down, just continue to put that pressure on. It looks like he's going to be able to pick off these 4 Zealots. Zeko not really heads up. He needed to be on those Dragoons almost immediately. But now, yeah, I think this is just going to come down to JF's superior ability to micro through a front door fight like this. And this is why, yeah, you don't see this at the higher level of play, because, wow, JF just brutalizing this front door already.
Yeah, all the cannons are down. There's still 2 cannons warping in, though, but you can see Zeko just has no army count. He's got 1 Dragoon out there, but those Dragoons can just snipe it off in just a few seconds, and that one goes down. And now this is pretty much JF's game. He's just going to move right in. Probes coming off the line. That's never good. You never want to fight with your probes unless you absolutely have to, because you can see those Dragoons are just focusing on those probes. The whole point of Zeko's build was to get a strong economy, but losing those probes going to counteract that. He might... You know, he's still getting cannons up, but he's not going to be able to hold, and this game is just going to move solidly into JF's favor. Yeah,
JF still has those 4 Dragoons, and it looks like that's going to be GG from Zeko. University of Toronto beats UC Berkeley. GG. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks, everybody, for tuning into the live stream. Thanks to the University of Cal and the University of Toronto for letting me do the live cast for them. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And thanks to you.
Thank you, Diggity, for inviting me.
No, thanks to you for dual casting so I could save my voice.